Now let's begin work on the seat. And so the seat is obviously going to be made of a different type of material than, say, the tank or the frame is going to be made of. So that's something we can think about as we go ahead and build this. Maybe the edges aren't quite as hard. Maybe we can get away with a little bit, more irregularities in the surface. You just always think about what this piece is actually made from. So you've got the hard metal of the bolt, and then you've got this kind of upholstered piece in here, or the rubber. So just something to think about. But let's go ahead and now create this in kind of the same way that we did the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just going to the shapes, choosing splines, and I'll just draw this out with a line. So I'll just real quickly draw in kind of the perimeter of this, just using these splines to draw this out. Okay. And then I'll come in here and just kind of draw this out all the way back to the back. Just drawing out the top and bottom basically. Okay, and this is going to be, at the origin. So I'll go ahead and finish that off right there. I can go ahead and just grab these vertices, maybe turn off background a little bit. And this will help me see things a little bit better on what needs to be modified. Obviously this isn't going to work. So kind of pull this out and up, rotate that around, and just get a nice shape in there that fits kind of nice and tightly with this tank. So I can kind of rotate these around and scale them out a little bit and so forth. Okay, just kind of rotate that around. Just get that shaped out the way that we want. All right. Now one big thing that we want to add here, go back to our left view, is this circle piece right in here. So we know we want to have this bolt area cut out of this, so we can actually create that when we create our shape, much like we did with the vent. So in this case, we'll just use a circle. And let's go ahead and now pull that circle out into the kind of the size and scale of that vent and get it into position there of that bolt area. Now I want to go ahead, if we take a look at this, we can change the radius, but I want to go ahead and convert this to an editable spline. And let's select all the segments and let's go ahead and divide those. Okay, so let's go down here all the way down to divide, and let's do maybe 3. Actually, let me do 2. I think that 2 will work. So we've got our circle now, and we've got a lot more vertices to work with. Okay, let's go ahead and now move that out. So we'll go ahead and move this circle out to kind of the width of the seat. Okay, so we get something like that. Turn over here. Okay, so we get something like that. Okay, and now let's go ahead and take this one and actually duplicate this. So I'm just going to hold down Shift, pull that out, copy that. Okay, and now this one I'm just going to scale it down a little bit so I can kind of see the difference there. And this is going to be kind of this line in here. So we want to take the vertices for this and just kind of move them down and just modify them slightly. Okay, grab that guy, move it down here, and so this is actually as it's coming out along the side here. Down here I can kind of leave that, check these points, I think those are probably pretty good. Just kind of move those down a little bit. Okay, so we're just again creating the cage similar to what we did before. Okay, and so we want to move this, make sure that this is out kind of in line with the one that we just built, the little circle there. So I'm going to go to the top view, dial that in, and I'll just move that over kind of in line with that circle. Okay, so now this is what we've got so far. Now if we take a look at this in the left-hand view, let me go ahead and zoom in here. Okay, we've also got this line that comes straight across here, connects, it kind of cuts through this circle. Okay, we've also got this line that comes off of that line and kind of connects up in the back here. So let's go ahead and start with this line. I'm going to go ahead and just attach this circle to that line so we can work with that. And now I'm going to go ahead and just start drawing in a line here. So I want to actually refine this. So if I go to Vertex, I'm going to go ahead and just use Refine Connect. And let's go ahead and start down here. And then I'll just draw a straight line and maybe attach it right there. So we've got a straight line going right in there. And then we'll maybe take it from this line all the way up there. And for this, I don't know that I want to actually attach it to anything. Rather than, I'd like to go ahead and connect this up. And then I'll attach it to this back piece, I think. So let's go ahead and now refine that. And I'll go from the middle kind of to this line. So that gives us the center line. Now we can go ahead and take that segment and go ahead and divide that. So we'll divide it a few times, something like that. Do the same thing back here maybe. And now we can start to draw across here. So we can go ahead and maybe draw this line out. So we can draw from back here and maybe just come in and start to build this line. Okay. Leave it like that, and then we'll move that over into position. Okay. So we'll kind of put that right on top of there. And now we can start to attach these together using Refine. Okay, go back to our Vertex and just make sure that we attach those first. Go back to Geometry. And we've got a little bit of rolling around to do here. Attach. Okay, so we got that attached. Now take our vertices, refine that, connect that up. Okay, same thing over here. You can go ahead and refine that. And if you want to, you can kind of get rid of that point there. And just refine it between those two. There we go. So we're starting to get our sort of our cage built up. We'll go ahead and scale this out and make this a little bit of a softer line there. Okay, so at this point, all that's left to do here with this is to come in and start connecting some of these pieces together. Okay, so if we come in and turn off our background, if we come in and start attaching all of these pieces together, so we attach all of the splines together, now we can come in and start attaching these. So if we go to our perspective, okay, we can start just doing the same thing we did before as far as just coming in and connecting these things together. Okay, and the circles, you know, you can come in and connect this, and what this does, it just creates, it'll be harder if we were to come in with some geometry that wasn't a circle and try to match that. But starting with a circle shape, we can just go ahead and attach that together, and that'll help us out in getting that type of a shape, which would be harder to get otherwise. Okay, so now you just want to come in with our Refine Connect and just start connecting these all together. Okay, so we'll go ahead and then come in the next lesson with this geometry attached. Once we've got all this attached, I've kind of showed you how to get the main shapes in there. Just go in and refine those, connect those together to create your spline cage, just like we did with the gas tank, just a little bit more practice. Okay, so we'll go ahead and and I'll finish that up, and then we'll come into the next lesson and just finish up the seat before we move on to the wheels. All right, so we're going to do that next.